afternoon, East Alabama and West Georgia. Dr. Don back in here with you. We're watching a very strong thunderstorm this afternoon at 3:34 p.m. Central, just south of Montgomery. And the National Weather Service is talking about issuing, and yeah, they just have, issuing a severe thunderstorm warning for this thunderstorm, which is rotating, by the way. And there is some discussion here that if the rotation tightens up any at all on this storm, they may go ahead and issue a tornado warning. So we wanted to jump in here and give you an update on this storm. Now, if you're up here in downtown Montgomery, even if you're over here on the eastern side of Montgomery, no weather worries there. You do have thunder, you do have lightning, and you may have some small hail right there in downtown Montgomery. But the tornadic portion of this storm, if there is a tornado, would be south of Montgomery. It will be down there has just recently crossed over 331 down south of Montgomery. It's headed toward 231, primarily that area there where 82 and 231 intersects would be the most likely area of the strongest portion of this storm. To the west of Union Springs and to the southwest of Tuskegee and way southwest of Shorter. So the strongest part of this would be in this area on the screen where I've just drawn that. It's kind of hard to see, I think. Let me see if I can do that a different way so you can see it a little bit better. And well, anyway, you can see where I'm talking about down here in south of Montgomery. Just to the east of 331, at the intersection of 331 and 94. And between 331 and 231 is going to be the best way to describe where this is at. And again, the Weather Service just issuing a severe thunderstorm warning. This warning is going to be for northwestern Bullock County, southwestern Macon County, and central Montgomery County until 4:15 p.m. At 3:33 p.m., a severe thunderstorm was located over Sprague, or about 7 miles northwest of Meadville, moving to the east at about 45 miles per hour. Hazard with this storm is 60-mile-per-hour wind gust. It is radar indicated and will affect areas such as Union Springs, Meadville, Pike Road, Pine Level, and then Snowden, Sprague, Sellers, Raymer, Carter's Hill, Mitchell, and Cecil. Those of you who live down there south of Montgomery know where I'm talking about. If you ever travel from Montgomery down to the northwest Florida Gulf Coast, either on 231 or 331, you recognize those communities that I've just mentioned down there south of Montgomery. Let's zoom out just a little bit, and let me show you what else is going on. We have a very strong thunderstorm up here in southwestern Lee County, and that is about to move into the Beauregard area. It is south of Auburn, the heaviest part of the storm is. And again, Beauregard, you're going to catch the brunt of this one. It is not severe. We have no special weather statements or no warnings on this particular cell, even though it does have that bow hook look to it. And there is an indication that there may be some hail taking place in this storm as well. At the moment, at least, we have no advisories from the National Weather Service. This is going to continue moving on off across southern Lee County, and eventually will affect places like Smith Station, Bleecker, Salem, as it moves on over into Georgia. They're just north of Columbus, and so maybe northern Chattahoochee County, and then up there in southern Harris County may have to deal with this storm in about an hour. And again, zooming out even further, this is pretty much all that's going on in Alabama right now. But notice we're getting training that's setting up right here along the I-85 corridor We have another storm forming back off to the southwest of Montgomery now, south of Selma. They've already had one this morning. Here comes another one. That one's going to be just east of Thomasville. And we understand we're looking at this from the Montgomery radar, which is actually not in Montgomery. It's to the east of Montgomery, so it's a pretty good ways off. From Camden back up towards Selma, strong thunderstorm there. Let's go ahead and switch back to Birmingham. That radar beam is a little bit stronger, and we'll see what these storms look like from the Birmingham radar. It'll take just a few moments for that to populate. And I think we've got a frozen screen here, so let's go back up. There we go. That's more current. All right, so that's looking at this setup now from the Birmingham radar, and we'll go back in a little closer for you. And I think that's frozen as well. I promise you, we'll get this working here in just a few moments. Don't know why it's freezing up on us. Let's see if we can take this. Right there, and let's refresh it. We're just doing this on the fly, folks. It's not wanting to cooperate, but you get the live, you get the screenshot there of what's going on. Again, we have a severe thunderstorm there just south and southeast of Montgomery that has just prompted a severe thunderstorm warning. And the National Weather Service is watching that storm. They're telling us the storm is rotating, and it may actually require a tornado warning if that rotation tightens up any at all. So you folks south of Montgomery need you to pay real close attention to that. And you folks up in East Alabama, no concerns at the moment. And as we continue to watch this, I think the radar it just refreshed. All right, so now we can go in there and look at that a little closer. Zooming back out, you see what's happening all across central Alabama. This is looking from the Birmingham radar. You see those showers and thunderstorms stretching from about Columbus back down to south east of Montgomery, and then all the way back to Thomasville, just south of Selma. So we've got about 3 different areas that we're watching this afternoon. We'll try this one more again. There's one area. There's the second area. And then there's the third area of activity that's moving, again, from west to east right along the I-85 corridor. And all of this is moving in this general direction. So this eventually will make it into Georgia. You folks up there in Harris County, and then up toward Thomaston, back over toward Macon, up there maybe as far north as Griffin. You need to pay attention to this line of storms because it's going to be moving into more favorable atmospheric conditions for the possibility of severe weather as we go throughout the remainder of the afternoon. So these storms really shouldn't weaken much. They may actually continue to increase in intensity as this stuff continues to move off to the northeast. Looking back over in Mississippi, we do have just a few counties left now under the severe thunderstorm watch that's in Mississippi. I think that's not going to be extended. And then looking back in Mississippi, now understand we're looking at the Birmingham radar. So let's just take that off and let's go ahead and put the composite back on, which will give you a good look at what's happening. And you see back in Mississippi, we have big storms now down there around Alexandria, Louisiana, stretching all the way back down to around Beaumont, Texas, and then back up just south of Jackson, Mississippi. All of that's yet to go. It's going to be moving through Alabama during the evening hours and into tomorrow morning. So we've got a long way to go to get through all of this as we look at the possibility of severe weather across Alabama and Georgia. Again, this is the main reason we're on. We have a severe thunderstorm warning now southeast of Montgomery. Weather conditions are improving in downtown Montgomery. If you're out there on the east side around the I-85 corridor and the Pike Road interchange, pretty nasty out there right now. But then the further south you go, down 231, you get down there on the Southern Bypass out there by John Patterson Trade School. You know what I'm talking about there in Montgomery. And you're headed south down 231. It's just copious amounts of rain out there. Not a good drive at all. And then when you get down to around where 82 intersects with 231, you're going to get into the meat of this storm. That's where the heaviest part of it is, and that's where the rotation would be if there is any rotation. And we're going to go back over to the next red so we can take a look at the base velocity. And you see right there, no question this storm is rotating, and if there is anything happening in the upper levels of the atmosphere, it's going to be right there. You see where the greens and the reds are touching, and then you have that bright blue. Now, the thing about that is this is very broad. Let me clear that off, and let's draw that one more time. Right there is pretty much where I would say that there is some rotation, no question about it, the storm rotating. But you got a lot of red and a lot of green. You need just a handful of small red pixels and a handful of green pixels touching one another. That would be a real tight couplet, and then that would be more of an indication of a tornado. This really is not a good indication of a tornado right here. It is certainly telling us that the storm is rotating right there where 82 and 231 intersect, or maybe just a little bit south of there. Is where I would expect the heaviest part of this storm to be taking place. Let's go back to the reflectivity. And you can see there, I think the heaviest part of this moves a little bit north of Union Springs and certainly south of Tuskegee. It'll cross over US 29 there, about halfway between Tuskegee and Union Springs. As where the heaviest part of this storm will move. And you see there, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning that remains in effect for about another 15 minutes or so. 14 minutes, I think, for that part of Alabama, south and east of downtown Montgomery. So we'll continue to watch this for you this afternoon. I'll zoom back out and you pick out your community. You can see that up here in Roanoke, not much happening right now. Some scattered showers in Chambers and Tallapoosa County with some embedded heavier showers. And then that rain continuing, moving toward the Smith Station area. Strong thunderstorm there in southern Lee County near Beauregard. Nothing from the Weather Service on that storm cell as it moves to the northeast. And then yet a third cell developing back to the southwest of Montgomery. We're watching every bit of this for you, and we'll come back and continue with our live coverage as conditions warrant here on Dr. Don's Weather. Thank you for joining us this afternoon.